Oh, let me get on the screen here. Happy Friday morning. We made it to almost the weekend. Well, it looks like we're going to be seeing a wet weekend across southeast Texas. There is a slight risk for some severe weather. I think the major impact for the weekend is going to be the rain that we're going to have to deal with. Maybe 1-2 inches of rain, some isolated places, 2.5-3 inches of rain, not out of the question for this weekend. The ground is so dry, I don't think we'll have to worry about any flooding or anything like that with some of these heavy downpours. But if we get a heavy thunderstorm moving through, or a couple of thunderstorms that kind of move over the same area, we could see some quick maybe flash flooding for the weekend as far as, some of those flood prone areas. But it shouldn't last long. If we see anything, like I said, that's going to be a very low chance of seeing some flooding with the ground so dry. It just soaks up that moisture that falls this weekend. But weather impact alert coming up for the weekend. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Let's take a quick look at today. The rest of the day, we'll see about 20%, 30% chance of a couple of showers here or there. We'll get up into the lower 80s for today. Back into the 70s through the evening, and then eventually we fall off into the 60s as we head towards Saturday morning. Overnight, we still keep a 20% chance of a few showers overnight with mostly cloudy skies. But there is a little bit of sunshine to be had out there for this afternoon. Allergy report, seems like it's always high this time of year, and it's high today. 0 on weed and grass, and then mold has actually come down a little bit, so it's on the low side right now. As we take a look at our weather impact alert for this weekend, mainly Saturday late and then into Sunday, at least the first half of Sunday, we could see some of those stronger thunderstorms. There is a slight risk of severe weather late Saturday, and we're talking about wind and hail basically with these thunderstorms. More likely we'll see maybe some gusty winds as some of these thunderstorms come through the area. We'll have to wait and see. That's what some of the computer models are indicating right now. Locally heavy rain through at least parts of Saturday night, and then going into Sunday a little bit, maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain over the weekend. Like I said, maybe see some places a little bit over that, and once again that slight risk of maybe some strong winds and maybe some hail as well. Download the 12 News Plus app if you haven't already. You can see updates there. You can check the radar there as well and help you kind of navigate some of the rain over the weekend if you have to get some outdoor plans in. I don't think it's going to be raining all weekend long. I think you might be able to get out for a little bit of time here and there. There are going to be wet periods, but there will be some dry periods over the weekend as well. Right now, mainly maybe Saturday morning might be a little bit drier, definitely than Saturday night, and then maybe Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, a little bit drier than looks like Sunday morning. So, like I said, open the app and it'll get you pointed in the right direction as far as maybe getting outdoors for a little bit for the weekend. We're going to see temperatures in the lower 80s today. We're maybe 82, 83. We're already seeing a few spots at 80. Woodville's at 80, Kirbyville's at 80, 81 right now in Silsbee. Jasper not too far away. It's 79. Beaumont's at 79. Port Arthur's at 78. Orange is at 78. Lake Charles is at 80 right now. DeQuincy's at 77. And look out towards our west from up there in Huntsville down through Conroe and Houston, all already into the lower 80s at about 81. They're going to be a little bit warmer than us for today. As we look outside, we have mostly cloudy skies, but you can see a little bit of blue here and there as we look down towards Port Arthur. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Go over towards the Horseman's Western store in Orange. Once again, you can see some sunshine actually shining there on the interstate, but it looks mostly cloudy skies as you look off in the distance there. Currently showing 78 degrees at the Horseman's Western store. Humidity up there at 82%. It is very humid. A lot of moisture streaming into southeast Texas, and that's going to lead to that rain, that much needed rain we have coming in for the weekend. And right now we're seeing a southeasterly wind between about 5 to 10. We'll see some gusts about 15 and over 15 for today. You can see there a south wind going up to 10. And like I said, we'll be a little bit breezy through the afternoon with some of that moisture streaming in here and that cloud cover as well streaming into southeast Texas. Yeah, here's a little bit more blue as we look from our Packer LaPrade location in downtown Beaumont, looking down towards the Beaumont skyline for this Friday morning. And you can see 78 degrees now at Packer LaPrade. Those are those south winds I was talking about, anywhere between, say, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Humidity there as well, very high at 74%. So very humid as we see those temperatures climb into the lower 80s for later on this afternoon. But there is some sunshine. There might be a sprinkle, a little random shower for today, but I haven't seen much on radar at all. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to show the radar because there's really not much on it to see right now. But later on this afternoon, a sprinkle here or there. Here's a look from our 12 News studio. Once again, mostly cloudy, but you can see a little blue there in the sky. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. And looks like interstate's going along just fine there right in front of our station on I-10. So if you have lunch plans I don't think you have to worry about too much. Doesn't look like there's too much in the way of a slowdown. If you're heading from, say, the mall, heading over to College Street or something like that, I think it looks like it's going to be fine as far as the traffic is concerned. All right, let's take one more look at another sky cam, and then we'll head off into the forecast as we go towards this weekend and into next week, where we have more rain coming up, it looks like, towards the middle of next week. And we'll take you up to Jasper, the Jasper County Courthouse. Camera brought to you by Provalis. Definitely see a little bit of blue in the sky up there on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. All right, let's take a look at satellite and radar. And we have a front out towards our west. This front's going to be pushing in here as we head towards, it looks like, tomorrow into Sunday to kind of stall out, and that will be the focus for some showers and thunderstorms. Look at all the moisture. You can just see where it's kind of milky white from southeast Texas here all the way back towards central, even the hill country, central Texas, the hill country. That's that moisture coming in, wrapping around that high pressure that's off towards our east. So it's really pulling in that moisture. So once that cold front taps into that, that's going to produce maybe a couple of inches of rain over the weekend, and we also could see possibility of maybe that slight risk of a few thunderstorms that are popping up with some gusty winds, maybe a little bit of hail or whatever. But very moist atmosphere out there, just primed to give us a little bit of rain, which we need the rain. We're well behind for the year, almost 4 inches behind for the year, and we're just starting the year, so 4 inches is quite a bit for this time of the year. As we look around the rest of the country, if you're traveling, watch out for the Great Lakes today. There's moisture headed in that direction. You can see some heavy rains through Iowa, Wisconsin, back into parts of, looks like Michigan. Chicago's getting some heavy rain for this morning, and some of that moisture back down towards the Kansas City area, and we have some moisture all the way down into Oklahoma. So there's wet weather through the Midwest for today. East Coast looking pretty quiet right now, but this storm system is going to be moving in that direction as we get into the weekend, so they'll start to get into some rain. You can see the spin right here over the central Rockies. That's what's helping drive that cold front into here as we head towards your weekend, and it's producing some snow over the higher elevations. You can see the purple and the pink indicating winter weather problems out towards the central Rockies, and some of that's moving into the northern plains. Looks like South Dakota, back into Nebraska, up into North Dakota, seeing some of those winter weather advisories. Right now, the west coast is dry, but another storm system coming in there late in the weekend, it looks like. Our coastal marine forecast for today: dense fog advisory is being lifted. Southeastern winds at 15 knots, seas from 2 to 3 feet. High tide at 4:27 for this afternoon. Our sunset's at 6:19 right now at Texas Point. East to southeastern winds at 15 to 17. Water temperature at about 70. All right, our forecast for today: mostly cloudy, 20% coverage, maybe a sprinkle, an isolated shower here or there. Won't be too many of those out there. And temperature is going to be in the lower 80s, from around 80 to 83 for today, with those southeasterly winds at 10 to 15. And then through the overnight hours, we'll keep those winds up at 10 to 15, and that'll keep our temperatures up. Upper 60s through the lakes and inland southeast Texas, and then you get into the triangle, we'll be right around 70 degrees for lows tonight. So it's going to be well above normal. We should be looking at lows generally into the lower 50s, so we'll be about 20 degrees above normal as we get into tomorrow morning. As we take a look once again at our weather impact alerts, Saturday and Sunday, probably the main threat for some severe weather, and it's a low-end threat right now, is some gusty winds and hail. That's going to be Saturday night, and then just keep abreast of the situation over the weekend. Stay weather aware, especially Saturday night, if we might see a few strong thunderstorms. All right, here's our 7-day, and you can definitely pick out the weather impact alert for Saturday and Sunday. You can see coverage is going to be high, 70% on Saturday, 60% on Sunday. A little bit cooler on Sunday with a little bit more in the way of some scattered rain, and then we'll dry it out for Monday and Tuesday. Temperatures back into the lower 80s. Another batch of rain comes through on Wednesday with maybe some thunderstorms. We'll go weather impact alert again on Wednesday with highs around 82. Behind that cold front, we see